I could have stopped, but you always need that thrill.
He's got himself into something he doesn't know how to get out of it.
I knew I was smarter than them.
The SWAT team showed up. I was terrified.
It became imminent that we had to take him down.
This is the stuff that movies are made of.
Catch me if you can.
Ooh. The Jewel Thief is a new true crime documentary that tells the story of Gerald Blanchard, one of the most calculated criminal masterminds in modern history. So joining me right now is the director, Landon Van Soest. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's a thrill. Thanks for having me.
That trailer kind of gives me the creeps at the same time. So tell me a little bit about why you wanted to tell this story. Why was it important to you?
Why not? I mean, it's just one of these stranger than fiction stories that just, I mean, it literally reads like, you know, just a classic heist film. But, you know, this guy lived 2 decades of just this crime spree with these capers and heists and schemes, each one crazier than the last. I mean, it's kind of a head-spinning story.
Yeah, it really is. And I was watching the trailer because it comes out tomorrow, right?
Yep,
okay.
tomorrow.
And I was watching the trailer and there was a portion in there where I don't remember if it was the investigator being interviewed, but talking about how he was kind of teasing them along the way, taking photos. That blew my mind. So they knew exactly who they were looking for this entire time.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that he just reached a level where I'm not even sure that doing these crimes and pulling these heists off were a challenge for him as much. That I really think that he got to a point where he wanted to see how close he could fly to the sun. You know, he wanted an audience. He loved that pursuit. And it just kind of set up this incredible cat and mouse game with some very unlikely detectives based in Winnipeg that ended up chasing him all over the world, from, you know, bank heists to jewel thieves, you know, really just all around the world in some of the most unlikely situations. It's just a wild ride.
I love how casual you are about it. It's like the most interesting and intense thing I've heard of in a while. And you talked to him. So what was most surprising to you after meeting him?
Maybe how normal he is. It's just sort of unnerving. I mean, I've been talking about this for years, and I've just kind of been obsessed with this story. But for him, it's all so common practice that, you know, he can just tell you some of the most outlandish stories. He does it with a completely straight face. He's completely nonplussed by it, you know, that he just comes across as being the most casual, you know, kind of calculating person. He's very polite, very nice. You'd have no idea. He's a bit of a wolf in sheep's clothing, maybe.
So I know it's interesting. I know it's an interesting story, but why give him, I guess, a platform, so to speak? Yeah.
I mean, I think that really, I mean, you just really can't help but marvel at what he accomplished. And I think the ingenuity is just completely fascinating to hear him, you know, tell you verbatim exactly how he pulled off a bank heist or how he stole a jewel from an Austrian castle, you know. But I think, you know, there's something just so fascinating to me about what was driving this, because like I said, I mean, it was decades long and it was not an isolated incident, that he was absolutely dedicated to his craft and he was very good at it. But what, you know, drove him to live outside of the mainstream, to kind of do this antisocial behavior, you know, it might have started out of some, you know, kind of financially motivated, you know, kind of meager upbringing. But it very quickly outpaced that. And I think in his own words, it truly became an addiction. And I think it, for me, is so much a story just about obsession and about ambition, you know, given whatever your goals are, that he was truly great at what he was doing, and he wanted the world to know about it.
I only have like 45 seconds left, but what is your background? How did you even get into this world? I'm so curious.
I mean, I've been making documentaries for almost 20 years, and, you know, it's taken me all over the world, and I think I've done a lot of kind of socio-political type stories. And when I came across this, you know, there's just so many elements to it that make you salivate as a storyteller, you know, just an amazing rise and fall. And he filmed the whole thing. I mean, he had hundreds of hours of home video recordings that, you know, it's just a treasure trove. I mean, it was just such a gift to be able to bring it out.
So you like things that are complicated. Good to know. We ran out of time, but thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see it.